What's going on, guys? Skogie here, back on SteezyRacing. This is the Touring Kart Championship. I believe they called this the pre-final. It's an 8-minute sprint race before the actual finals, and I was starting 8th out of 14 here, and I was fighting really hard right from the beginning here. Basically, if I could work my way into 7th, I would be putting myself directly into the A main. I would be at the back of the A main, but I would be into A main. And more importantly, I would get a break because right after the pre-final here, they went right into B main, and I was not feeling very well. I was pretty sick. I was battling strep throat. If you've seen some of the other videos, you know that. So I was really wanting to try to get a break. So I had a great battle with Brendan Schubert here, another pretty well-known driver, and right into turn 1 here, I made a little bit of a mistake. I slid the tires a little bit too long. She managed to switch back, get on the right side, and then I clipped this wall here. She got by me, which was really unfortunate, but I was still trying to fight really hard because I wanted to try to get into that A main. I'm still in a pretty good spot. I'm getting pushed already from behind, but I managed to fend them off a little bit. But even if I finish right where I am, I finish at the pole of B main, which isn't too bad. I would need to try to defend my spot, and this track is very track position dependent. There's not a ton of big easy passing zones, so it's fairly easy to defend once you're in a good position if you have a pretty decent kart. So even though this wasn't a bad position, I really didn't want to have to worry about trying to hold people off for what would be a 12-minute B main, and then it would put me at the back of the A main where I would be for another 12-minute race. It was just a lot, and there was a lot of battling going on in front of me, so I thought I would be able to sneak by some people and try to get into a better position. I clipped that wall right there all on my own. That wasn't because of the person behind me. I was just getting kind of tired already. It was way too early in the race to be tired, but after the practice thing that happened just before this, I had probably 10 minutes to calm down after the practice and qualifying, but it wasn't enough to get me back to 100% being sick and all. So I didn't notice that my camera was messed up for a little bit, but once I started approaching these other karts and I realized that there was some opportunity for content, I checked my camera again and saw that it wasn't pointed up, so I flipped it back up and got ready to go chase after him again. Gladly, it was only for a little bit. I got to see that 18 kart go to the inside of the 1 on that dive bomb there. The 1 lost it a little bit, it hit that wall. I snuck by the inside too, so he lost 3 spots in just a couple corners. I locked it up in turn 1 to make sure that I got by him, ran all the way to the wall and played defensive, and then started pushing again to get back to Brennan, because I was running just a tiny bit faster than her, especially with the defense, and I still thought my real spot where I belonged was 1 in front of her, just because I was battling very well with her and I thought I could get back around. I wasn't too sure if I was going to get by the person in front of her too, but he was playing some great defense and she was clearly faster than him, so I thought there was a good shot that I could get by both of them if I was patient and just kept running my line and doing well. But I was a little bit too concerned about the people behind me and playing just a little bit too defensive, so I wasn't catching them as fast as I needed to try to make some moves. It was a really fun, interesting dynamic the whole time that I was racing in this Touring Kart Championship, just because I knew that everybody that I was racing for the most part had more success in driving than me elsewhere. They were more talented drivers probably in general, but I had raced at this track more than 90% of the competitors. There were a couple of other people that were regular to the Monza high-speed club tournament or weekly club thing that they do, but for the most part, a lot of those guys skipped this race because the Touring Kart Championship is a lot more expensive than the weekly club is, and it's about the same amount of racing, honestly. So a lot of them skipped it. They weren't worried about winning this race because they win races at this track all the time. So it was very weird to have a track full of people who were probably all better than me, but weren't necessarily better than me here. So it was, like I said, I just had a lot of fun, and I'm really interested to see that dynamic to an even bigger extent when the Touring Kart Championship comes to R1. Obviously, I work at R1. I run that track constantly. It's still a pretty brand new track. It's only like a month old. It's not like I have way more practice than the other person or other people could have. I don't have thousands of more laps, but that being said, the back half of the track is mostly the same. So like I do have hundreds or thousands of more practice through the S's at my home track. It's gonna be an interesting race, and I think I've got a very good chance of doing very well. But I made a mistake there. I slipped up, missed the apex a little bit. This guy got to my inside, kind of pushed me out of the way. I tried to steer over to his right side and impede him going up this hill. He unfortunately didn't make the same mistake that I did, and I got put back into 8th place again. And again, I was worried that I wasn't going to be where I needed to be. I was back into the B main and pretty upset about it because he started gapping me almost instantly once he got by me. So clearly he was running quite a bit faster than me, and as soon as I made a mistake, he snuck right by me. And that's like the epitome of racing in this kind of series, where the experience at the track will maybe get you the right line. Yeah, you'll be on pace with them and be fast, but if you make a mistake, they're still not making mistakes. They're going to be fast too. Even if they're just learning how to be fast right now, they're going to figure it out. So you really can't afford to make any mistakes when you're racing with sharks all around you. It's not like you can just instantly get back your spot, especially in these gas karts where momentum is everything. You can get past and just get run right away from. As you can see here, he's almost a full straightaway ahead of me, maybe a lap later. So I was getting absolutely gapped after he got by me, and that was honestly the most concerning part of the entire race. Because I was like, yeah, I'm running okay, I'm playing good defense, I'm fine. As soon as he got by me, he ran away from me. It's like, okay, well, is everybody running that much faster than me, just waiting to get around me? Because if that's the case, I'm going to be in for a hell of a race. I decided probably not. I tried to run a little bit more of a faster line rather than a defensive line. After that point, I think I was a little bit ahead of the person behind me. But even still, I had a lot of pressure. I knew that there was going to be people all around me the whole race. And I knew the race was getting close to the end at this point. Everybody was going to be fighting even harder to try to get those spots. Not everybody knew, I think, exactly where they were. It's a little hard to read that screen there. So I kind of had to assume that they were in the same spot that I was, thinking that if I can just get that one more spot, I'll get out of B main. I assume there's 2 or 3 karts behind me kind of built up waiting on me to make another mistake, and it's the final lap now going around this corner, so I just decided to play it super defensive. I know that I can't make any mistakes or they're gonna get around me like the last guy did, and right now where I'm sitting, I'm still at the pole of B main, which is a pretty darn good spot to be, so I do everything I can to hold them off this lap. Take this corner super tight, switch back pretty early here to block off this inside. Even though I get a little bit understeery, letting off the gas, I still keep the inside, and then I dive back here. They've got no shot of getting by me, and the checkered flag is waving when I come back across the line. So a pretty good race. I could have probably done a little bit better and made my way into the A main, but overall I was pretty happy with where I finished. I think I proved that I belonged in this race with these other pretty talented drivers, so I was happy with where I ended up. But look out for posts in the B main. That'll be up on my channel soon. And yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll be back soon enough, like I said. So yeah, bye guys.